Hi, my name's Tom from EventsAir, and I'm here to show you some of the great accommodation and travel management tools within EventsAir. EventsAir is used by hundreds of travel and incentive companies, as well as professional conference organizers globally, to manage the very complex travel and accommodation requirements that they have for their customers. Anybody who's managed travel and accommodation knows how high stakes it is. On the one hand, if we manage it incorrectly, we can end up with all of these rooms or flights that we don't use and ultimately pay for and eat into our margins. On the other, if we oversell or over-allocate our rooms, we can end up with attendees with nowhere to sleep for the night, which isn't great. That's why planners rely on EventsAir to manage those really complex workflows. So let's have a quick look at accommodation to begin with. In this event, I've only got one hotel, the Intercontinental, but I've got 3 rooms sitting underneath that. Each of these rooms has dynamic inventory and rates built into it. And as a planner, what I've done is I've gone in and actually mapped all of this out based on the conversations I've had with that hotel. So I've contracted a room block and I build that in with all of the rates and inventory here. So for example, for the beachfront suites, I've got 60 rooms per night at a cost of $150 per night. That becomes my room block that I can then manage and allocate out to my attendees. Now I can include that on registration and interactive sites so people can select it themselves, but more commonly I build that into packages and manage that allocation myself. As it gets closer to event date, I can actually build in my scheduled room releases with the hotel as well, which is incredibly powerful. This tool allows us to build in the room releases as contracted with the hotel and release those rooms out based on those room release schedules. It's very, very powerful and used widely by anyone who's managing room blocks through their hotels. Flights work similar. If you have a certain sector that's been negotiated directly with, say, the groups department at Qantas, we can build those in and say we have X amount of seats going from this port to this port at this time. Track all of that in with flight codes and then allocate those flights out to our attendees. If my attendees are managing their own travel, I can simply capture that flight information so I can handle transfers at the day. And lastly, if my agent is going and booking my travel, we have an integration via Trondon, which can pull those travel bookings across in bulk and update literally hundreds of attendees automatically, which saves a lot of time. Ultimately, what that does as planners is it gives us the ability to communicate and report on all of that information. So as an example, I know who's arriving at the airport this afternoon, who's staying at a particular hotel, so I could organize transfers. As an attendee, what it gives me is a really personalized itinerary with all of that information in there. So the planner sends me my itinerary, it's automatically generated. Even better, beautiful digital attendee app has a itinerary where they can see all of their activities, flights, and accommodation in a chronological setting with push notifications when certain things are occurring. It's a very powerful tool that our planners love. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an insight into how travel and accommodation managers can really leverage those tools to make those processes much easier and create really nice experiences for the attendees on the front end. Be sure to check out some of the other videos for some other great content.